Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it happens to be your very first time here. My name is Troy, and in this series, I plan to show that anybody can create a growing source of completely passive income. Now, if this happens to be the very first time you're even hearing this series and you want to know what it's all about, I'm going to link episode 1 above my head so you can go back and watch that and get an understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish with this series. That first episode is going to explain all things, such as why I picked the stocks I picked, how much and how often I'm going to be investing, and the overall goals of this portfolio. Once you're caught up there, feel free to watch the other episodes in order so you can see the natural progression of this portfolio, or you can just come back to this episode to see where we're currently at. With that being said, if you're already caught up and you're here for your bi-weekly update, let's get to it. In today's video, I'm going to start with a really quick refresher on where we left off at the end of last episode. Then I'm going to jump right into where the portfolio is currently sitting, how my most recent buys impacted the cost basis of the positions in this account, the all-time best and worst performers in this portfolio, my projected annualized returns based off of my current returns. Then I'm going to go over any dividends received since the last update. And then to wrap the video up, I'm going to show you what else I'm expecting to close out the month. Now, since it's been 2 weeks since the last episode, let me quickly show you where we left off. And for anybody that happened to miss last week's episode, here is where we left off. Remember, we had a goal of $135 per holding. Our previous account balance was sitting at $1,623.91. And actually, at the conclusion of last episode, which was the birthday, the 1-year anniversary of this portfolio, we were actually down $11.61 or 0.72%. So now let's go ahead and see where we currently sit with this portfolio with this right here. So as a reminder, remember that every other Friday, I deposit $60 into this portfolio automatically, and then $5 is added into each and every one of these stocks. All the information you're going to see in today's video is going to be as of the close of market on January 24th of 2025. This portfolio is now 54 weeks old, giving us a goal of $140 per holding. Our new account balance at the time of close of market was $1,768.66. So now I want to show you how those little $5 buys that I did this week impacted the cost basis of the positions in the portfolio with this right here. So with this chart, you're going to be able to see the cost basis of all the positions split adjusted going back all the way to episode 1 and where it was last week with episode 27 and where it is this week with episode 28. And then the last column is just the difference between episode 27 last episode and episode 28, which is this episode. So in total, we increased the cost basis in 4 of our positions. We decreased the cost basis in 8 of our positions. Our biggest increase, once again, stop me if you heard this before, goes to AVGO that went from $151.27 per share to $153.37 per share, while our biggest decrease almost went to Intuit, but once again goes to Humana, which went from $324.41 per share to $323.17 per share. So now let's go ahead and take these numbers and see how these stocks are performing for me all time with the best and worst performers with this right here. So good news is, for editing purposes, I hardly ever have to change this because my best and my worst performers have been consistent now for the last bunch of episodes. So our best performer remains AVGO or Broadcom, that is up $83.20 or 59.54%, while our worst performer is HUM or Humana, that is down $12.33 or 8.84%. So in total, we have 3 positions up double digits, 0 positions down double digits, which is good. And Humana is getting even closer to being even thanks to that lowered cost basis that we've been doing by buying this stock on the quote unquote dip, if that's what you want to call this prolonged downturn that they're having. We've been buying it the whole time. So as our cost basis keeps going lower, it takes less and less of a rebound for Humana for us to actually reap the benefits of that and turn back in the green. So you love to hear that. In total, down here at the bottom right, this portfolio is now back in the green, and it's doing so at a pretty good rate. It's up $72.93, which is 4.36% in the green. So now we're going to add these numbers to the chart that I've been sharing with you guys over all these episodes and see where it's trending with this right here. So if you guys look all the way down here at the bottom, you guys can see episode 27 that I just talked about, where we were in the red by $11.61. And now here we are, episode 28, where we're in the green by, or I guess technically you're in the black, but we'll call it green just because I like those colors. So in the green by $72.93. So that's a huge rebound. That's like an $83 swing or something like that. I'm not, a math person, but I think that's roughly $83 just in the last 2 weeks. And it doesn't have anything to do with the $60 I added. That's just a turnover from the stocks doing better than they did, 2 weeks ago. So you love to see that. That gives us a projected annualized return of 4.2%. That's going to be a little weird. I might have to do a season 1, season 2 kind of thing with this now that this portfolio is over a year old. Stay tuned. Let me know down in the comments if you guys want me to break it up into everything from episode 27 and before was season 1. Now we're in season 2 of the portfolio. Let me know down below. I'm curious what you guys think, or I can just keep it going. Let me know. So anyway, dividend portfolio, right? So now we're going to go ahead and see what companies, or if any companies, paid us dividends since the last episode with this right here. So of course I did get a dividend because that's the point of the portfolio. We got one dividend, and that was on January 17th, where Intuit paid us 21 cents. And if you look at this thing, I love looking at this over time because this shows you the power of the dividend snowball and the dividend growth rates, right? So on April 18th, Intuit paid us 4 cents. And then on July, that's July, 7's July. I don't know why that's so hard for me. 7 is July. So on July 18th, we got 9 cents from Intuit. On October 18th, I know that one, that's my birth month. So on October 18th, we got 16 cents. And then here we are back in January. So we've now received our 4th payment from Intuit. I guess I was a little bit too late when I started this portfolio. I missed the ex-dividend date, so we didn't get that January dividend. But on January 17th, we now received 21 cents. So you guys can see it goes from 4 to 9 to 16 to 21. So that's super cool. Intuit's now paid us 50 cents. Big whoop, right? 50 cents, which is 3.18% of the total dividends received in this portfolio. So let's go ahead and take this number, add it into our January totals, and see where we're cooking so far in 2025 with this right here. So as if you guys happen to miss last episode, it's definitely a gem to go back and watch. Like I said, it was the 1-year anniversary of this portfolio. Definitely worth checking out. But if you guys are just, coming in, they're seeing the series for the first time or whatever it might be, you're going to notice that our 2024 total down here in the bottom left is $7.24. And if you look up here for quarter 1, January 2025, we're now up to $8.49, which is a 28,200% increase from January of last year, which is great. Again, we're at $8.49 for quarter 1 too, because, January is the first month of the quarter, which is a 4,616.7% increase from quarter 1 of last year. So that has, actually, I'm not even going to spoil it. If you want to know how I got that big of a dividend, or how we're already up that much in January, rather, go back and watch last week's episode, or I guess 2 weeks ago's episode. But yeah, in total, so obviously our total for the year is the same as for January. We have 71 cents per month, $2 that'd be nice, 2 cents per day, and we're already 17.3% higher than we were in all of 2024. Obviously, January is not done yet, and January is the start of the year, so I'm really excited for what this portfolio has coming. So make sure you guys subscribe and keep coming back as we continue to watch and support this portfolio as it grows. And really quick, the last thing I wanted to show you guys is this screenshot to show you guys what we have left for the end of January. So you guys can see I took this screenshot on the 25th of January. I didn't have anything come in this week, which is why I only had one dividend to share with you guys, which you guys can see is Intuit on the 17th, as we already talked about. But then next week, or this coming week, I should say, on the 29th, which I believe is Wednesday, we are going to be getting dividends from ALG. And then on the 31st, to close out January, we're going to get those dividends from Humana, which is, obviously the dog of the portfolio. So that's going to be nice. We're going to, we don't do drip in this portfolio because I don't want things getting out of balance. I have some higher yielders and lower yielders. I don't want them getting, out of whack. So what I'm doing is I'm going to build that cash balance in this portfolio until we have enough to make an extra bonus payment, which would be $60. And we're going to do $5 into every stock with that too. So with that being said, that cash balance that's building in the background is gaining a little bit of interest. So we're also going to get that payment on the 31st as well. And so make sure you guys obviously come back in 2 weeks. I guess it'll be Monday, whatever Monday is 2 weeks from now, and come back and watch that video. You guys will be able to see how we closed out January, and maybe even how we're starting February, I believe, is how, calendars work. So make sure you guys keep coming back for that as well. But that's going to wrap it up for this bi-weekly update to the Anyone Can Invest portfolio. If you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you guys remember to leave a like on the video, as it helps YouTube recommend these kind of videos to other people. And also use that comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think of the series, anything you guys want to see in the series, or if you guys just want to say hi, use the comments down below. And if you guys are watching this series and thinking, there's no way that these little amounts of money are ever going to amount to anything, well, my dividend portfolio that I've been building and growing for the last 5 years started out just like this. If you guys want to check that out, do so right here. But until next time, see ya.